Just about 52 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this Now Monday morning. Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, we were joking that it's the eve of the eve of the eve of independence. But guess what? It's also the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service who are remembering the woman police officers because they have celebrated 67 years of woman police in the service. And so joining us every Monday, as she usually does, is Inspector Michelle Lewis, just to share a little bit about what they're planning for these 67 years. And maybe we're going to have some conversations about fireworks because we are looking forward to our independence celebrations as well. So Inspector Lewis, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Rakesh.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to be here. And yes, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we celebrate 67 years of having women police.
And you see, spoiler, I called for it before the 67 years ago.
Well, I don't know if that was in 1955, because that was when our first batch of women entered the service, 1955.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
if that song is after that?
Nah, it's before that, it's before that.
Oh, well, then he called it.
Yeah, he called it.
So, I mean, Inspector, 67 years. I mean, for you as well as a woman police officer in the service, what does that signify for you?
Well, if I can go back through history a bit.
Yes.
So there were 12 women police at that time who entered out of over 2,000 applicants.
In 1955?
In 1955 then. And even now, we still have a greater level of women wanting to enter the service than men. So it continues to show women wanting to be into law enforcement, apart from being caregivers to their family, to be that kind of caregivers to the society as well.
Exactly.
In law enforcement. So then to now, we've come a long, long way. I remember this year in March was the very first time I came on TTT now when we celebrated International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I was here. And so within the organization, we have about 30% of the overall police officers that are women police officers.
And I think it's like 90% of the leadership is women.
Well, in the executive, but
Yeah.
we've had two, for example, Ma'am Joanne Archie, deputy former, she has now retired, as well as ACP Pamela Shalera Hines, who was at Special Branch.
And Lewis as well.
Ma'am Beverly Lewis.
Yes.
Right, so Ma'am Beverly Lewis went before that, a
Right.
bit before that. But even though some of our women leave, some come.
Of course.
So for example, at Special Branch where Ma'am Shalera Hines has left, we now have ACP Drusella Jackman, a woman who has taken over. In Southern Division where we had Beverly Rodriguez who left, we had Ma'am Winchester taking over.
So I want to know something, right? I heard this, like, and this is not the first time I'm hearing it, where you'll call a senior female police officer ma'am.
Ma'am, yes.
Is that a title or a rank, or is it just respect? Or?
It's just respect. It's just like, you know, the person above your rank, you say ma'am.
I have heard that in the UK as well, but they say mom, but it sounds like mom. Like mom, because of their accent, it sounds like mom.
Yeah,
What
so,
I wanted to know as well, Inspector, like I remember there was, when you celebrated the 66 last year, you had a service, and I attended that service, and they were saying that long ago, the woman police officers used to do like really simple jobs. So for example, if a child went missing, they would put the woman police to do stuff like that. I mean, how do you, rank what was, expected of women police then to now, and how far women have come in the service?
So so in 1955 and for those preceding years, the role of the woman in the police service was for children and women. So for example, if children were lost, to assist with orphanage and that kind of thing, we were there for that.
Caregiving rules.
Yes, for that sole purpose. But as the organization evolved, and as the role changes, for example, you have women police requiring to search women outside
Offenders
or suspects.
Suspects,
So, even though in some aspect of the law it is not mandatory because there are two separate pieces of law that speaks to searching, right? But the best practice is to have a woman police search a female suspect. And of course, in different areas of the organization. Take, for example, recently, one of our women police came back from Canada as an internationally trained bomb expert.
We spoke about
That's Shirley Thompson. But before we had, well, she's now sergeant, that in 2009, that is Adelina Hospitalis. She was the first locally trained bomb technician, 2009.
Okay.
So over the years, we've seen in different areas, even for example, Miss Archie, Joanna Archie, who was the deputy commissioner. She was the first public information officer in 2012 under Gibbs, that commissioner. And so I am the second female over the years. And I'm saying that over the years, the organization has changed and we have put female in strategic roles within the organization. And in some cases, it is deliberate.
Right.
It is deliberate.
Why is it deliberate?
I don't want to sound biased.
Hey, we celebrate the women of resilience. Women
Say
of
it
police
proud
force,
and
say it
proud.
with your chest.
Women of resilience. I might come across a bit, but, ask the Commissioner of Police, he has definitely placed some of his female officers in strategic positions. And that's a question, when you look at the strategic plan of the organization and some of the skill set of some of the women, some of the men, he placed them accordingly.
Yeah.
So, for example, depending on your skill set, not on it.
All right. I know where you're getting trouble here. I know where you're getting trouble here.
No, I don't, because I love my men,
How are we celebrating 67 years this year? How?
This year we have our interfaith service at the St. Mary's Anglican Church from 10 a.m. And on our Facebook page, it is expected to be streaming live. And so our most senior woman police at this time is Deputy Commissioner of Police, Earla Christopher. So she is the most senior, and then after she, we have Assistant Commissioner of Police, Sharon Cooper. So we do expect to see our senior women there, dressed in their ceremonial wear and all of that. So the service will be there at 10 a.m. this morning. Because this year we celebrate Jubilee Independence of Trinidad and Tobago, Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, some of our celebrations we have deferred to September because the 29th being the anniversary, the 31st being Independence Day. So, and this year Independence Day parade is really pumped up. We have some specials in store.
I'm going to ask, is Bacchanal brewing? Because I hear everybody keeps saying, when I mean good Bacchanal. The kind that everybody is meant to get excited for, because I've heard several different officers of different ranks talking about how they got to get ready for the parade, and I'm like, but you still go in parade? You not past that rank? And no, boy, not this year, boy, this year. So is it that everybody coming out this year?
Well, and there are tickets. There are tickets also available to members of the public, which can be...
To get to the grandstand.
Yeah, at Ministry of National Security at Defence Force Building there. It's available, I think, from...
Is that the one on Frederick Street?
Abercrombie.
Okay, right.
So it's available for the public to get tickets, free of course to attend. But this year, the parade is going to be different. Really, really different.
A different route, a different execution, different how?
Two big truck.
Red, white, and black.
We always have, all the motorcade, all the mobiles and all that, and the air support as well. But you're going to see the police officers looking a bit different. The uniform is not going to be...
We upgrade the kit?
Well, I don't know.
Is the big smile for me? Is the big smile for me?
We women, we support the men. So you're going to see the female and as well as the male contingent out there from the Trinidad and Tobago Police, together with all the other
Now, later on in the day, on that same day, we have the customary fireworks display that happens.
Yes, we do.
Any advice you want to give us before we wrap up this morning about...
We're wrapping up already this
time. The time must fly when we're having fun.
And I still had one question for you, but go ahead. Yes.
Right, so of course, with the, as you said, Independence Day parade always comes a whole set of fireworks. So I can read a portion of the Summary Offences Act, just for the members of the public, Section 7, Section 99, and it says, any person who throws, casts, set fires, or let off any fireworks within any tongue is liable to $4,000. And so the police service, we generally put out some public service announcement or public service ads that we try to, air and sensitize the public, even with the animals and that kind of thing. So persons who can sell are persons who are authorized to sell.
So how come you can sell where you can't use? Like I could buy, but I can't use it.
No, you can, but there are restrictions under which you can use it.
Okay.
So it's not that you cannot.
So the restrictions are, it must be an open area, open field
area
type
away,
area.
Right. I think about 60 feet away from a home and that kind of thing. But persons purchase it and they still do not comply with the
Next thing you know, we see our house burned down.
Yes, like
right?
it happened
So,
last year.
and that is because they do not adhere to the instructions to follow, so that when you do it in your home or next to, you know.
But you know, the next thing I think about, Inspector, is if I buy fireworks and I live in a community that do have a park or do have a playground, is it that I now have to leave? I leave my community to go and set off those fireworks?
Yes, you should, because you bought it knowing that you cannot set it off
at
in
home.
your home.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure everybody understand that, so I needed you to say it. No.
Yeah. Inspector, one final question before you go, because I know we have to wrap. The WSAP, can you tell me about that? The woman in, is it service and protection?
That's right. So women in service and protection, WSAP, which includes women from Port Authority, Airport Authority, Defence Force, prisons, fire, customs and excise. And that group really, we try to forge women and strengthen women and bring us together. So this year we're actually planning a ball for September and some other activities. Just before COVID, we had a reception and we came together in 2018, 2019. So we continue to bridge and increase that bond with women in service and in protection, because actually the first set of women that went into the regiment, it was women police from Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that were the moms that assisted in training. So we continue to have that good relationship and forge forward with our women. So Trinidad and Tobago, we celebrate 67 years of women police in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and we are happy about it. Women of resilience.
Quickly, I have to ask, Inspector, how does it feel to be a woman celebrating 67 years this year?
Well, I am proud to be a woman police officer. Within the organization, for me, I have had no challenges in terms of male officers, and because you do hear that happening.
Yes.
But I must say I have not experienced, maybe I'm just, blessed seriously, but I have not had that kind of experience. Well, I can't say that. But my experience has been a good one, and it has been a steadily progressive one. And I give God thanks and praise for it. But I have been able to work in different sections and branches and units in the organization, from charge room, from traffic, to now being the PIO. So it's a really, and it's an organization that has diverse opportunities for anyone.
Congratulations on celebrating 67 years. You are definitely a woman of resilience. We see it and we see you radiating joy and pride this morning.
Every Monday.
Now this morning special. This morning special is a different kind of smile this morning. So congratulations and happy independence to you.
And to you all as well. You look good in your red, white and black this morning.
All right, guys. So in case those of you who are interested in purchasing fireworks and setting them off, we have the rules. We have a little bit of a forewarning for you guys, just to make sure that we're doing things the right way, right? So thank you very much, Inspector. We're going to close off with this video this morning.
According to the Summary Offences Act, Chapter 1102, persons who throw, cast, set fire to, or lets off any fireworks, namely bombs, torpedoes, squibs, rockets and serpents within a town, contrary to the Summary Offences Act, Chapter 1102, are liable on summary conviction to a fine of $1,000 and a fine of $400 if same is done on any street or within 60 feet in the center of any street not being a town. Also, fireworks shall not be sold to any child under the age of 16 years old. The Explosives Prohibition of Scratch Bombs Order 2018 prohibits the importation and sale of scratch bombs. Persons found breaching the order may be liable upon indictment to a fine of $20,000 or 10 years imprisonment. Let's all take responsibility for each other's safety. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
A fella told me they would be